Welcome to our May 3rd Architectural Review Board meeting. We have a couple of sets of minutes to approve.
Yeah, Greg, you're gonna have to talk louder, or put that closer to you, yeah.
We have a couple of sets of meetings, agenda, couple of sets of meetings to approve. We have January 18th. Can we get a motion to approve these minutes?
I'll make a motion.
We have a second?
I'll second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
We also have the minutes from February 1st. Can we get a motion to approve those minutes?
I'll make that.
We have a second?
I'll second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
And we have the minutes from February 15th. Can we get a motion to approve those?
Make motion.
We have a second?
I'll second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, just to see who we have present here tonight. Referral from the planning board for West Hampton Beach Development Partners. Samuel and Eleanor Williamson. Mark and Lisa Bernardo. Okay, we'll start with the referral from the planning board to the architectural review board. WHB Development Partners, LLC, 107 Old Riverhead Road. This is, as provided for in chapter 5-14, A and B. The planning board requests that this attached application by the architectural review board and an advisory report be returned to the planning board. The proposed
I'm just gonna
location,
minimize
the
this, okay?
applicant seeks a site plan approval to construct an automotive service station, 8 pumps and canopy, with an accessory 1-story convenience store, 4,872 square feet, and associated site improvements on a 1.6 acre parcel located in the B3 zoning district.
I don't know. There's a step that I don't know how to put this on the screen.
On the screen, I don't,
No? Okay. Well, we'll just do it manually then. Oops, I gotta get you back. This is you here, I think, right? Yeah. All right. So, all right.
wait a minute, what? Okay, it's recording.
Oh, okay. We were gonna try to do this digitally, but
Good evening,
we
Mr.
can't.
Williams.
Good evening. Jim Hume for the applicant, with me tonight also is Richard Bartlett, one of the architects on the project. And what we're here to talk about tonight is the development of approximately 70,000 square foot lot on the north end of Riverhead, northwest side of Riverhead Road, in front of the storage facility. There's a vacant lot there. And what we're proposing is a gas station with a convenience store. This convenience store in this particular case happens to be a 7-Eleven. This application has been reviewed by the planning board. It has been reviewed by the zoning board. We needed a couple of variances to have this approved, and also has been before the trustees for the special permit that we're required to have. There are eight actual gas pumps and 16 places to pump gas from those 8 pumps. We submitted, as part of the record here, elevations of what the store will look like. Now, we're not here to talk about the signs tonight. We're just here to talk about the building itself. The sign applications will be coming shortly, but we're not quite there yet. But this is the front side elevation of the main building, including the dumpster enclosure. This is the other side and rear, and this is the the canopy, which turned out to be the much more discussed feature of the whole project, including the addition of the three, what are they called, reverse gables, I guess they're called. As it basically came as some recommendations from the village planner. So that's the building itself, and then just to give you a sense of what the landscaping will look like, we do have I do have a landscape plan, which I would make. I don't think I submitted it, but I'd like to make this part of the record. But in real life, it will look something like that, which I did submit as part of the record, showing the various bits of landscaping and foliage, all of which was discussed at great length with the planning board about making sure we properly masked but left visible the functions that we were involved in. As far as the materials go, I think we submitted the checklist, which detailed all of the different finishing materials and all the different colors, which I think is part of the. Pardon me?
I didn't see that.
No? Okay.
I mean, the renderings look lovely, but
That should have came as part of the
If
application.
you don't
so.
mind, Mr. Hume.
Yeah.
If you could,
Not in your
describe that
packet?
along with the drawing, so we get it
Sure.
into the record,
All right.
starting with the front elevation if possible.
Okay. Well, all four elevations are the same basic materials. It's, do you want to do this?
Sure.
I'll let the architect do that. It's not part of my degree, so.
I do have it too.
But that's okay. Thank you.
Good evening.
Good evening. My name is Rick Bartlett, architect. The materials on the building are uniform throughout. The roofing is going to be a charcoal gray architectural roof shingle. The siding is going to be a fiber cement board and batten siding. That's the vertical. Those will be raised off the surface of the primary panel. That material will be like a light shade of gray, and then across the bottom as a water table, there will be a dark gray stone that will be utilized. The storefront framing will be
Board and batten is all gonna be light gray.
it's a light gray, correct?
Stone's gonna be dark gray.
It's like a medium gray. And then the darkest thing would be the roof, which is a charcoal gray. The storefront system will be a black aluminum system.
For the windows. For the windows?
Yes.
Yes.
For the storefront system across the front. There is some white trim on various elements. There'll be a white fascia on the gables, as well as, across the main portion of the building, as well as some trim around the storefront framing as well. I mean, that's pretty much it. Anything that's hollow metal, like the exterior doors, electrical equipment, that will also be painted like a medium gray as well.
And the architecture of the dumpster enclosure is similar
Yes,
to the
That-
rest of the structures on the.
it emulates that. It does
Yeah.
have the same fiber cement panel system and stone base. The fuel canopies are similar, although there's no stone involved with the fuel canopies. It is a charcoal gray roof, again, with the vertical board and batten fiber cement siding and a medium gray, and white trim on the fascias of the gable and across the base of the canopy itself. We worked very closely with the planning board on this whole design, back and forth with several different versions and several versions of versions that were created. So it was back and forth quite a bit, and we did finally come up with this design, and they were very happy with it.
So that's basically it from our perspective.
Where are you now with the planning board?
We submitted full final site plan that reflected all of this. They're gonna review that. There may be some additional engineering comments, things like that, but we don't expect that it will change in any substantial way. And then we're waiting for the health department. And as soon as we have the health department, then we'll have planning board approval.
So planning board hasn't approved it yet.
They have not approved it.
So if they do make a change, you will come back if there's any change in the building?
Yes,
since we're approving something that hasn't been approved yet.
I don't
They will
anticipate.
approve
I understand, I'm just.
They have not approved this, but they will approve this. Because this is what we spent the last 8 months
Okay, I just wanna make sure. that-
discussing with them, yes. But if there is a change, then I'm sure they'll send us back, but we will come back.
You wanna go through the landscaping plan?
Are you familiar with that, or?
Not really, we didn't do the landscaping, so
Okay. All right, well,
it was done by Stonefield.
well, I don't know,
And I can.
you wanna give it a whirl?
Sure.
All right.
Excuse me, can I just ask you back what application you're here on? 51 Old Riverhead Road, the building sign?
I gave you the landscape plan.
This one.
Yeah, I just have it back.
They don't really specify.
Here, this is that.
Okay.
I mean, as I said, this is what it will look like, and there is a schedule in the plan itself of
Right.
what each of these plants
What's the size of the plants that are going in, they're not like pots, isn't it gonna stay 10 years to grow?
No, they're
Big enough.
they're
to-
fairly mature. They're 6-foot arborvitaes,
Yeah, what I'm.
3-inch caliber
what I'm looking
trees.
to accomplish is to get this verbally into the minutes.
So why don't you just read
Yeah.
the plant and the
Okay.
dimensions?
I mean, there are a few of the existing trees will be maintained on the site. There will be some pin oak trees planted. Those will be a 3-inch caliber. And then in other areas of the site, there are landscaping beds and landscaping along the parking areas. That's gonna be a combination of white firs that are 6 feet in height, American hollies that are 6 feet in height, and American arborvitaes that are 6 feet in height. Those will be utilized mostly for any screen planting around the site. And then forward of that and around some of the entryways, there's a mixture of northern bayberry, which is 36 to 42 inches in height, viburnum, 36 to 42 inches in height, a compact inkberry, 18 to 24 inches, and then there are more like ground cover shrubs of Pennsylvania sedge, 1 gallon, planted at 24 inches on center, so that will fill in nicely. Switchgrass, 5 gallon again, 48 inches on center, and standing ovation little blue stem grass, which is also a 5 gallon at 36 inches on center.
And I'll give this back to you, so that it will become part of the
I
record.
said, you could just go over the entrance and exits, but I did look at the plan, but again, we can verbally get that into the.
Right, there are 2 entrances to the site. One of the entrances on the south comes from the flagpole that actually services the storage facility behind us. And that's an in and out. The other entrance is on the north end of the property that enters and exits onto Old Riverhead Road. You can enter from either direction, but the exit is right turn only, I
You
believe.
can only go south, right?
Yeah, you can only go south from when you turn out of the building from that location.
I just wanted to get that into the
Sure.
minutes. And I know you said there was a lot of discussion about the canopy.
Yes.
Can we just ask, what was the discussion? And
Well, we had proposed several different.
we had a situation with the Valero.
Yeah, well, the Valero came up a number of times, and so we were eventually convinced that the best thing for us to do was something that was similar to what they did. So initially we had a flat, I think it was a flat roof structure for the most part, and then we had
A version with like a hip roof on it.
right, and then
And we
there
had
was
a
a
version
single
with
reversed.
Another with a single reverse gable on it. And then they said we prefer something that has multiple, a little more interest to it, so that's why we went with the 3 reverse gables. Originally, we also only had the reverse gables facing Old Riverhead Road. And they said, no, we want them on both sides, so hence,
You have it on the east and west,
correct.
north and south.
Well, the north and south are just, yeah, I mean, it is a gable.
Yeah.
The whole gable on the north and south ends, correct.
And was there discussion about the height of it? Like,
Yes, I mean, the height is,
did they want it higher, lower?
no,
I know
this
there
was
a big
always the
discussion.
height that it was, so we proposed, I think it's 23 feet. And, that,
23.6 to the
Yeah.
top,
Right, and the height of the,
and underneath is 14.7.
about the height of the roof itself.
To the ridge is the 23.6.
Talking about just the height.
The
I think
clearance
there
is
was
the
discussion
four-
on Valero, they wanted it higher or lower. Just looking
okay,
at-
well, this is what the height from the grade to the bottom is what, 14.7 you said?
Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't really, I mean, we discussed it to the extent that we told them that that's what we proposed, and there was not an issue raised by the planner, the engineer, or the board, so.
Okay. My question would be where the air conditioning mechanical equipment is gonna be.
There will be a section of roofing on the back side of the building that will be housed in flat roof area. It'll be kind of cut out into the gable roof.
Is that shown on any of the elevators?
I mean, it shows, it hints at it, it's not really. If you look on the rear elevation, the dark spot,
Let's see, this ladder up in the flat area, shows that it's tucked into the roof.
right.
So the only place that will be seen will be from the storage facility.
And even at that, the roofing itself comes up to a height of about 3 feet along that whole edge, because you have to provide for fall protection. So, you know, and the only thing you'll see is anything that's 3 feet and up above that flat roof surface.
But you're not gonna see it from Riverhead Road?
No.
No.
So the equipment will be lower than the ridge line?
Correct. And we've utilized that same technique in other instances, and it works out very well.
And the planning board was okay with that?
Yes.
Yep.
Any questions? Mrs. Stover, any questions?
No one answered the question about the size of the plants going in, that's the only concern.
No, you did.
They did, that's what I'm saying.
Oh.
Yeah, they're all good size.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you both.
Thank you.
Good luck with the
Good
project.
evening. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay, next we have Samuel and Eleanor Williamson, 22 Sunset Lane, for a two-story, single-family dwelling, 4 bedrooms, 4.5 bath over a crawl space, and finished basement, with a cellar entrance, 2-level screen porch, 2 fireplaces, roofed over front porch, 2-car garage, attached by a breezeway, maintaining the existing pool, reconstructing the patio at grade, installing fence and landscape.
My name's Jean Cadden from Willow Depth Design. I think,
Yeah, you're just
Sorry,
gonna have to
can I just
talk.
get your name?
sorry, Jean Cadden, Jeannene, Jeannene, and the last name is Cadden.
Yeah, you're just gonna have to talk into the mic.
Okay. I'm just the landscape designer, so with respect to the architecture, you already, I think, completed your review of this property. The only thing that was changed was the orientation of the garage, because the Williamsons want to save as many plants and trees that they have existing. So the orientation of the garage was changed, but I think Charlie said that was reviewed already.
Well, we
Do you
got
have
the-
the plan in front of you?
You have a whole,
What's been changed?
Um,
You have it there?
yeah, sure.
So what's been changed with the orientation? of
The garage was, the entrance was coming at.
you
I guess
all
that's
should
the
have a
north
copy
side.
of
Yeah,
that.
I
I sent the
No,
email
but
to
I didn't know when it changed to the garage at all.
I don't know if it was noted on the actual.
You couldn't really get into the garage the way that it was set up if the plants were gonna remain, and also just because with the house now being, it's now gonna be approximately 30 feet closer to the road, so you wouldn't have been able to come in straight and turn the way that they originally had it set up on the very, the first plan. And then when I came on board, that's when we changed it so that the garage doors face the road. And the architect, Ben Farquhar, he sent everything over, and I was under the impression you all
I'm
had.
hearing two things, and I'm just looking to clarify it.
Okay.
You're saying the orientation of the garage has changed. I don't know if that means,
It's as it is on the plan.
I don't know what the change is. And you're saying the main structure is moved closer to the road?
No, it's 30 feet closer than the existing structure. So when the architect did the plans, he just drew in the driveway, but it wasn't completed. When I came on board, that's when we put in the driveway as it appears on the design, and the garage is now the doors are facing the road. And the full design from the architect is, you should be in
It
receipt
should be in your packet.
It's not in this packet
No.
tonight. I mean, we have this.
Yeah, from the original, from the original,
Original, but did that have the one that changed?
This is the correct orientation now?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, that's it.
Because I don't see that in.
Yeah, I printed it out from
what I forwarded to all
something
you
that
guys.
was quoted, so.
Oh, okay, wasn't in that packet.
I mean, I'm happy to pass it down, whatever I got in here.
Which was at the last meeting, we looked at this.
Yeah, I remember that.
But when was the orientation changed then?
Right after your meeting.
But I see it.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it changed the orientation.
Yeah, if you wanna pass it down, I'll,
Yeah, I didn't know that the orientation had changed.
here's all of the
Just
drawings.
resubmitted and changed.
Oh, everything, I know, so-
They didn't change anything on it, right? It's the same thing, we approved the doors and
The doors are now in the front, and the garage is about 7 feet longer,
But I'm
going
just
to
saying
the
that-
north.
the doors that they're putting up are the same ones that we saw when we were looking, or did they change the doors?
That's not something I knew about, cause I came on afterwards, but I have a picture. This is the original one when the garage was to the side. Does it look like the one Ben sent you?
There's the windows, shutters.
I would think he probably would do the same doors.
I think we just have to confirm if they're using the same materials and everything.
They are,
Yeah.
everything's the same.
That's a question.
Yeah,
That's
so
it.
before it was here.
This is the original,
Yeah, so
Yeah.
before on the side there.
and now the doors are in the front because they wanted to save whatever.
These plants.
Yeah, and there's a big grouping of rhododendron, and
Before-
you
this
couldn't
wasn't-
swing around
this
and
was
get in,
before,
so we had to come in from the
swing around
front.
backside.
Makes sense.
So, is that deal? I guess they want it before they.
2:15.
Did we approve it, or was it just?
We just
tabled?
approved. You just approved those minutes
I know,
tonight.
but in those minutes, did we approve My question is, in those minutes, did we, or did we hold it over, subject to receiving a landscape?
Subject to the landscape.
The 215 meeting,
Or
right?
subject
Yeah, it was subject to
but we
landscape,
didn't
but
approve it.
We approved the house, the application was held over to the landscaping.
Okay, so, since you're knowledgeable about the landscaping.
Yes, sir.
If you can go over that and, talk about the fence, you need a.
Sure.
Code approved.
We'll give you a, is it this fence right here? It has one horizontal bar, but it's the verticals. So this is the fence that we're probably gonna
When you say
use.
this is the fence, if you could describe it. So we-
It's a picket fence, it's, the square pickets rather than the flat pickets. And it does have a bar across, and I think this was okay for a pool code. I know there's questions about horizontal bars these days, but this middle one right here, I mean, they'll put in whatever you know. Yeah, just your basic.
You never approved the house.
I mean,
As long as it's 4 feet.
Four
You
foot.
held the whole, yeah.
And then around the back, I have more copies of this if you want me to get them, if you.
No, we have
want
them.
me to.
They're just a little
Oh,
I'm
small.
fine with
okay.
it. My confusion, if you wanna call it that, I didn't think we approved the house at that meeting. I thought we held it over, subject to approving a landscape plan. And I think Kerry is now confirming my thought.
Yep,
That we
you,
did
you
not.
haven't, yeah.
It's subject to receiving the landscaping plan.
Yeah,
We
so
approved the
now,
house
so
subject to
you're
the
gonna
landscape.
yeah, so tonight you're gonna have to approve the house and the landscape plan.
Motion to approve it. It's a little unclear by what's written in the minutes. It said motion was made to approve the
To hold-
application, subject to approving the landscape.
To hold over the application.
That's all right, we're reading, I think we're reading a
We
different
got
application.
attached the wrong.
Yeah, we were looking at, it was attached to a different.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right, sorry.
So
We
they
don't
have
have
to
those
approve the
minutes.
whole house.
I was reading the wrong.
So was I.
What's the final verdict, Lisa?
No, that you have to approve it if you're gonna approve it tonight. It was not approved, it was just held over.
Yeah, that's right.
No, I know, but the minutes we were just reading
We're attached to this.
were attached to that and made it look like it was approved
So we
subject to the
didn't approve
landscape.
the house
No.
or the landscaping.
No.
No.
Okay, so if you could describe where that picket fence is gonna go?
Could I have a copy to go over? I have more copies for you guys.
No, but you're gonna have to.
I won't be able to remember what I signed here unless I look at it. So, did you want me to hold it up, or?
No, I just want you to describe where that picket,
Okay,
is it
so,
only going in the front
okay,
and what's
so,
going around
here's
the
the
back?
here's the,
Excuse me,
oh,
is
sorry.
it only going around the front? And is it, what's going around the perimeter of the property?
Okay. This is the picket fence right here. So it's across the front from the north side coming south, right here.
Okay.
There's an arbor over it, and then it attaches to this corner of the garage,
Okay.
the northeast corner. And then there's also, this is the back of the house here, the back corner of the house, and this is a picket fence here. So basically where you're gonna view it, that's in the middle of the yard is where
Okay.
the picket will go, and it's this one circled here.
Okay, and what about the property line on the north and the east?
So the north and the east, we would do a pool code, black, steel, 1x1 wire. I don't know if they decided to do the 4 foot or the 8 foot, but I guess we would say, not 8 foot, 6 foot. And that would go along here. There's actually a wire fence there already, but I think we'll put in a new one once. It really needs to be cleaned up around here, and a lot of these plants are in existence already.
I'm gonna ask you if you would to mark up that plan
Okay,
where the two
okay,
picket fences are
okay,
and the other fence going around the
okay.
north and the east side. So,
Do you have it's marked on here. Do you want me to circle where I wrote fence, or do you want me to, do you have a highlighter? You want me to
I have a
highlight it?
pen. And you're gonna write picket fence in one, right?
Yeah, I have that on here already.
Okay, then circle it.
Okay. And here's the black metal fence, full cover.
If you could, just initial and date.
Can somebody verify the date for me?
May 3rd.
Good, thank you. Okay, so on the left is circled and up top. Here's your pen back.
Black fence is 4 foot or 6 foot?
6 foot.
What is 4 foot? Sorry about any confusion, but my
It's okay.
recollection was that we did not approve the house at the time. So anyway, if anybody has any questions regarding the changes in the house or the landscaping plan, now's the time to speak up. Okay? So can we get a motion to approve the house and the landscaping plan?
I'll make the motion.
We have a second.
I'll second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Is that it?
That's it.
Oh,
That's it.
that's easy.
See how simple that was?
Okay, so I can tell them that everything's approved?
Yep.
Okay, very good, thank you.
Okay, next we have the, application for Mark and Lisa Bernardo to Hampton Avenue, 1-story addition, primary suite over unfinished basement with a cellar.
Hi, thank you very much for
Good evening.
hearing me. I'm Mark Bernardo. I live at 2 Hampton Avenue. I bought in 2014 a 1960 vintage cottage that we want to add a master bedroom suite with a bath and an unfinished basement underneath. In addition, we are going to be re-roofing the entire property with a Tesla solar roof, and we will be powering the house with 2 power walls in the basement. They will be a gray material that is made in Buffalo, New York, Corning glass, and solar Vitola throughout. We're also recommissioning a geothermal system in the basement that will replace the existing HVAC system. It's a master bedroom suite. We'll have a new main entrance. We are moving the entrance of the house to the addition, and that will allow for a flow into an existing foyer. And we are adding a master bedroom, which is basically replicating an existing pyramid that is on the property twice. So we basically, this is the existing house, and we rendered it in brown so you can see what the addition is, but it will be in an Arctic white. And you're seeing these windows are a British Columbian company called Fester, and they're a super high efficient glass with the best U and R rating we found in the industry that we could use. It's a single story structure with 2 skylights. One will be lighting the basement staircase downstairs, and that's this one, and another one will be in the master bathroom. And basically the porch is going to be stone. You'll see how it sticks out on the existing overhead footprint, which I think you may have a copy of, that you can see that, you know, the existing structure is going to be utilized there. We're not making any major changes to the existing house, except we are removing the door and we're adding a wall of windows along that front. So the existing door, let's see, which was here, is now going to have these windows here, and then this will be the new entrance to the house on the other side, on the new structure. This gives you a rendering of the entrance to the basement, which is replacing a Bilco basement door with a actual stairwell that will lead down to 2 separate entrances to 2 separate cellars. And the reason we're doing that is the existing cellar, it doesn't meet code in the sense that it's not deep enough, high enough. So we've created 2. We're gonna have 1 fire door and then a second fire door into the existing basement. And that will allow for egress, the double egress. So you'll be able to get in and out of that. So I can show you this.
I looked into, but let's see.
Here's a rendering of what it looks like. It's a product by
Do you
Tesla.
have samples of the roofing?
Do you know, I wanted to bring you a sample. Tesla was supposed to come yesterday, but because of the rain, they canceled. They were coming to do a site survey on it. It literally is not visible as a solar voltaic panel. The whole point of this is the aesthetic is it looks like slate. It looks like a slate roof, and if you had a drone and you flew overhead, you would be able to see the active solar voltaic haze on some of them. But the way the azimuth of the roof is designed, once you reach down to a certain level, they all blend in together, and you can't tell where the dummy shingles begin and the active solar voltaic. This will be the first Tesla roof in West Hampton Beach when it goes
Yeah,
in.
that's why I'm asking.
There are several of
I've heard
them.
about it, I've never seen it.
Yes.
I was hoping you would have. brought it.
Boy, I would have loved to have brought one.
I would like to see one.
There are several homes in Sag Harbor that have it, and several in East Hampton, and one in Montauk. And it's all being done by their company in Bethpage. So they're right in Nassau County. And you know, I wish I could have supplied you a sample of the shingle, but that's what it looks like.
Now, how do they handle the ridge caps? Because you have a hip roof on this, right?
Yes, it's all handled with material that matches that, and it's all flashed into the existing shingles. That's part of that installation. So there's no ridge. Essentially, it's just a seamless shingle that works its way around.
Gotcha.
Do you follow what I'm saying?
Yeah. There's
And-
no cap on it, it is kind of mitered.
Exactly. It's all mitered to just integrate together. This is a relatively simple roof for them to use because in a lot of installations you have dormers and you have eyebrows and you have all these different factors that fight the solar voltaic flow. But this allows you to have the solar voltaic throughout uninterrupted, except for the existing skylights that are on the main pyramid. The new pyramid will have no skylights. This will. And then the flat roof is the exact same material, but it has no solar capability because it's not at the right angle for to catch the sunlight. It's a 12.
The flat roof has the same material.
It's the exact same material, but a dummy. In other words, it's the same look, it looks exactly the same, like a slate, but it does not have the solar Vitola capability. The whole idea of this is, we figured if we're gonna do this, we wanna do something that's gonna take this 1960s cottage into the 21st century and lower our carbon footprint. And, you know, I'm really doing it as like an inspiration for my son and that the future generations. The only way we're gonna make this is if we allow this kind of innovation to thrive. And I'm hoping that you folks can see that, you know, our intentions are to have a zero footprint. We've already got the approval of PSE&G for Tesla's plan, and we will literally be selling electric back to PSE&G. And I drive an EV, we'll be able to charge our car on the EV with the power that we're making on the roof. And during the dead of winter, the beauty of this material is snow does not stick to the roof because there is a slight warmth to the solar Vitola tiles, and it allows the snow to remain clear off the roof, even in like blizzard conditions. So it can even make solar in the winter, albeit a different azimuth of the sun, but it makes the solar.
Okay, can we hold on to this?
You bet. And you can have this as well. And I have full plans. I have a set of full plans if you want them as well for what we're doing on the interior, but I don't know if that's a factor.
Yeah.
Okay. The windows, I can't tell you enough about these windows. They're amazing. They have this smart glass technology. It's 4 layers of glass. And they have the highest U rating of any window, bar anything even in Europe. And the beauty of it is it's going to be a real vault, and they're called tilt and slide, where they literally will either open out or they'll slide. And the windows either tilt or they open in 2 different directions. It's really fascinating how they do it. It's very clever engineering.
It's all wood clad?
Yes, it's wood. It's balsa wood with a clear coat on it. So it's like a balsam kind of wood, and then the interior is cork. Okay. So they take cork wood,
And that's insulating.
and the whole idea is everything is sustainable. There's no vinyl. There's no like an Anderson kind of format of a composite stuff. This is all done in the British Columbia, and it's a family that's doing this, and it's just amazing. And so we bit the bullet and went with it. They're doing the front door, and they're doing 9 different windows for the structure and the skylights.
I commend you for going green. I wish you brought a sample of the panel. I've heard about it. I have not seen it.
You know, I should have brought my laptop because there's hundreds of examples online.
If you can still get us a sample, okay, I think it would be good for the board to see it.
Great.
And if you can invite us all over.
Oh, I gotta
Look at
tell you
all the,
guys, I think this is really
that you're
something. The
doing.
existing house is 987 square feet. We're adding 514 square feet. And with the steps, 219 in the steps and in the decking and stuff. And the whole idea is to, just basically create a little more room and a place where we can.
Now, also, can you explain on the siding? There's a lot of siding.
Yes.
A lot of details going on.
Okay, the siding is this James Hardy siding, and the front panels that you see in brown, unfortunately he doesn't have the color that we had, is a texture, and it's made by this company called Trespa, and it's going to be in an Arctic white as well.
The rain screen, that's.
Exactly.
And what does that sit on?
It-
So that you just see the space?
Yeah,
The space in it?
Exactly. And then this is James Hardy side. We have existing asbestos tile on the side of the house. All of that's gonna be decommissioned and, rendered to a clean landfill. Then we're gonna wrap the house.
Finish is all white?
The finish is basically white, yes, white with the gray slate.
And somewhere on the plans it says that, cause I know you said it's showing brown so we could see what's new.
Right, I thought,
But
I
think it
thought I
has to
saw
be
brown
clear.
somewhere.
I saw
It has
the
to be
brown
clear
checked
what it
off on
is.
the,
Right,
on the email.
and that was a misunderstanding on the part of the architect and myself. Lisa saw the brown, Lisa, my wife, saw the brown, and he